Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 7th to the 13th of October 2013. We begin the week still under the auspices of the new moon in Libra. This new moon came in on Saturday the 5th and has opened up a 2-week window for us to find our inner calibration. Libra is all about the balance. It takes us through the autumn equinox and we go inside into the darker realms, into our subconscious, and we're shown quite often where the polarities are inside of us. I've created a whole video for Libra, so please do go and listen to that, but largely Venus through an air sign like Libra, the new moon, the catalyst of the sun and the moon together, starting a 2-week journey, is taking us inside to find our grace and our harmony and our balance. This is best expressed through dance and song and poetry. We dance with the universal flow with Venus through the air sign, the gentle waves, the knowingness and the flow that we can just close our eyes and tune into. There's no real effort required there. So Venus being our muse and our creativity, this is a wonderful time to go in psychologically and find our balance, but also to just let go and release and to be in the flow and to be in the moment. So the sun carries on in Libra, carries on that energy which permeates throughout the whole week. On Monday we see Venus leave Scorpio, and Scorpio is the purging waters. Scorpio is the fiery depths of our subconscious thoughts and feelings. It's like lava under the surface. It's bubbling under. It's all the things that are actually drawing situations to us so that we can resolve them, because we magnetically attract from our subconscious. So with Venus being our emotions and our expression of those emotions, we had a chance there while Venus was in Scorpio to be shown where we're attracting from the subconscious, maybe emotional situations that are done now that we can get rid of, or where the root of the program was, so that we can go in and pull up that weed at the roots and get clearer. So when Venus moves into Sagittarius on Tuesday, we've got a complete climate change. Each sign of the zodiac is very, very different to its neighbour. So we're going from deep, hot lava, magnetic waters of Scorpio to the hearth fire of the ancient ones in Sagittarius. Sagittarius comes from the word sage, so we're dealing with old wisdom. It's the oldest of the fire signs. So imagine sitting round an ancestral campfire, reconnecting with that old spark, the spark of life that goes back through centuries and through cultural changes over the decades. So Sagittarius with Venus asks us to go in and find our inner wise woman or wise man, our own sage. Sagittarius represents the higher mind, so it's all the things that we think about that take us higher and expand us, like philosophy and religion and all the big subjects in life, the travel, the experience of the human soul here on earth. So while Venus for the next few weeks travels through Sagittarius, it's a really good opportunity to ponder on your roots, to ponder on the spark of life that's been passed down through the generations, and maybe to go back and revisit some of the rites of initiation of the ancestors who knew how to mark the passing of time and the journey of life with reverence and honour. Because in the modern world we're often trapped into a media culture, a distraction, a 2-second memory, lots of screens and buttons and things to kind of keep us in the mental. But the Sagittarian element is really deep within your hearth fire, and hearth and heart are the same word, root. So we're going deep into that spark of what really matters in life, and maybe some active practical ritual is a good way to tune into that and to get those roots nice and firm, rather than being distracted by all the whistles and bells and the bread and circuses of the modern era. To think on higher subjects, to ponder subjects like philosophy, cosmology, to get into that bigger mind of who we are and why we're here and why we came here in the first place and where we come from and where we'll be going to, and to honour the ancestors who have been here before. So on Tuesday that opens up a 2-week window to get sage, to get wise, and to reconnect with what's mattered in the past and what is still very important right now if we're to live with honour and integrity. There's many other aspects going on through the week. There's always different changes in the planets, but the main activity comes at the following weekend when the Sun is square to Jupiter. Now the Sun is our life force energy, our sovereign warmth in our body, our glow, our radiating power. And Jupiter is the next biggest body in our solar system, and it speaks of our journey and our expansion and, again, our majesty and our sovereignty. A square is often a very awkward aspect, so we have the Sun square Jupiter. But it's said that if you work with the square energy, if you go into the awkwardness, if you stop a while and actually study what's going on, you can bring these two aspects to perfect peace, to perfect balance. So what we're looking at here is an opportunity at the weekend to see where we're putting our life force energy, our solar energy, and to see whether it's actually expanding us, whether it's leading to something spacious and going to make us wiser and help us get further on our journey. Because it's possible that we may realise at the weekend with this square that where we're putting our solar energy hasn't got the room to grow. There's a feeling that often we're working to goals that we set a long time ago that are no longer relevant. And I'm sure we've all had the experience when we've reached a goal and we've felt a bit disappointed because we realised that wasn't what we wanted all along, and we've put all that energy into getting somewhere, but we'd forgotten to revise our plan as to where we wanted to actually go. So with this square of the Sun and Jupiter coming up next weekend, it might be an opportunity to stop, to rewrite your energetic CV, to revise your goals, especially because Mercury will be getting ready to go retrograde. And Mercury retrograde has us rethinking and revising and going in and reconnecting with ourselves. So there's a period here not to push forward to something that we think we want or to work from obligation, but to actually stop and see ourselves as a bigger, sovereign, majestic self, and to rewrite our plan from that perspective so that wherever we're then putting our life force energy is actually going somewhere worthy and expansive. So it's a stop, revise, rethink, try and view yourself as an eternal soul with this Sagittarian Jupiter energy, rather than just this person that's struggling alone on a single life path with the importances that we've been told that we need to strive for. If we expand that out and see ourselves as part of a flow, part of a process and part of a lineage, then we may be able to revise those goals to something bigger and more important, and just make sure that we're heading in the right direction. So all told, this week we have the Libran flow of getting back into our universal creativity. We have the purging fires of Sagittarius, showing us that in order to do that we need to go back to our roots and to honour properly the passage of time and the path that we're on and where we've come from and where we're going to. And then a moment to stop at the weekend and really put all of that into action and decide that whatever plans we will have going forwards next week are actually in alignment with our sovereign self and our divine eternal self, rather than a personality-based plan that could lead us into a cul-de-sac. So those are the energies for this week, and I'll see you next week.